All right, a very good evening to you folks. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to SpeedGaming rather. Welcome to the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer 2022 tournament. We got a good one for you folks. Today we have got awp82 and Naii in a Swiss round 4 match. I'm Captain MD and tonight I'm joined by Schwartz Gandhi. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to see how good the seed is going to be. We've been getting some quite interesting seeds for lately. Can't wait to see what Randomizer is going to throw at us today.
Indeed. Our race is being tracked tonight by Callum Chiss and Samuel 6710, so we thank both of them for their help tonight, both getting the tracking done and for helping us get set up in a bit of a hurry here. So we've just sent the runners off in the race time room, so we'll be starting in a moment. So our RAs tonight are pretty much the typical landing site to Aegon missile-less start that I guess is the best way to describe it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. We were trying to theorize how late we could get missiles to be in a seed. This is kind of the closest we've come up with.
Indeed. All right, well, it looks like we are just about to get started here. So yeah, we're going to be starting in landing site. The Hive transport and transport to Aegon gates are both disabled, or all three of them, I should say, are disabled, and main missile launcher is required today. So this will be a nice little extra bit of spice to add to our evening.
Love me some required maintenance. So yeah, as opposed to our ordinary start with us starting at Umos and reading the hint and fighting Alpha Splinter, most runners are faced with the decision if they're going to head to Temple Assembly Site, check around Temple Grounds for some checks, or just head straight to Aegon.
Indeed, they do not start with Violet Translator, so they cannot go directly to Great Temple.
Yeah, I don't really think you can get pretty much any checks in Temple Grounds. I think you are pretty much just forced to go straight to Aegon.
Pretty much. All right, we see a missile-related upgrade in a Cursed Lake. That will be dead.
Mm-hmm. The only item that's important that's under missile-related is Seeker missiles, and there is a Seeker door that leads to a Cursed Lake. So either that's logically not required, which can't be possible because it's required to beat the game, or it's just another plain missile expansion.
All right, our first item is Morph Ball Bombs. That opens up 3 checks here in Temple Grounds right away. That opens up Hive Chamber B, Temple Assembly Site, and Communications Area. And it looks like we're going to see our runners head back in the direction of Temple Grounds to check those items. Naii going for Hive Chamber B, Op going for Temple Assembly Site.
I don't know what is the better play here. Because starting at landing site, it would seem more than likely that Hive Chamber B will have progression. But then you will still have to backtrack here later after you beat Bomb Guardian to fight Dark Missile Trooper. And most commonly, you don't want to come back. You want to do it one sweep. But there is a progressive grapple down. So
well,
if we find the other one, it will prove very useful if we do find the other one soon.
Yeah, Op sees a missile expansion in Temple Assembly Site. Not going to bother getting that since it wouldn't do any good right at this very minute.
Seems like Naii will be making his way over there as well.
Yeah, and what we might see here is if this is another progressive grapple, that would actually put GFMC in logic immediately, but I don't think so. We get instead a suit.
Huh.
That's really nice to have right before you dive Aegon, especially if we could be going tankless for quite a while, as that has been tradition in these seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So having Dark Suit right off the bat just already gives you over a minute of Dark Aether time, which is really helpful.
Yeah, the initial Dark Aegon loop is pretty notorious for having you try to ration out your energy as you move, specifically getting to areas like Trial Tunnel in enough time, but also having enough health that you won't die. Yep.
Off now making the detour to grab this missile.
That's probably good because you want at least one expansion so that when you inevitably do get launcher, you will have fair missile drops because drops are pretty much bugged unless you have 10 or more because the 10 missile pickup actually won't actually like spawn until you have minimum amount for that.
Indeed. Early Dark Suit also makes me a little bit concerned for how Torvis access may be handled, because that to me suggests that that might be an alternative to using super missiles, so we may be seeing early beams but late super missiles today.
Handoff is going to be picking up the other progressive grapple as well.
Alright, looks like Naii is actually going to be our first one down to Aegon, and now this elevator will take us in front of the temple instead of to the entrance. This effectively circumvents the need for missile launcher in the early parts of Aegon, as the missile door is only locked from one side.
Mm-hmm. And instead we'll be fighting Bomb Guardian straight away.
Looks like Naii going for Hive Chamber B first has sent him to Aegon a little bit faster.
But unfortunately, we don't have missiles to get a 2-cycle on Bomb Guardian.
Yeah, this has been unfortunate. Yeah, this has been a little too common lately in races where we don't have a special weapon to quick kill Bomb Guardian. Like, a lot of things can work to make things easier, like really close range charge light beam. Dark beam could be a good. In this scenario, I think dark beam might actually be faster.
Mm-hmm. But in the end, it's not the most fun thing. And it's another missile expansion.
Okay, so no immediate progression just yet, but we are able to access the Aegon energy controller courtesy of these bombs. And what do we have? A vanilla amber translator. That is very welcome to these runners.
Amber is like probably one of the most valuable early game items because it gives you access to hints while you're still full clearing Aegon.
Indeed, and our first hint reads tonight that Quad himself is dead.
But the supers in Torvis Energy Dream is still alive.
Indeed, although I don't think we've seen that yet in a restream.
No, I don't think that there was any required 2 most warps in this tournament so far. Not that I know of.
And with Amber in tow, we also have the ability to immediately check Sand Cache. And Nai's going to drop the door first and then trigger this pirate fight. And I like to trigger this pirate fight first, especially if I have space jump. Because then reloading the room will just set this to the B layer, in which case I can just go grab that Sky Temple key that's chilling in Mining Station A right now.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we haven't found Space Jump yet. It could be in Sand Cache, but we could also just do a BSJ.
I believe that hint read that Emerald Translator is up to 3 rooms from Hive Chamber B, which means it is very likely on... Let me double check. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Great Temple Transport B access. So it's somewhere in Great Temple that isn't Transport B access itself. So that, I think, literally applies to literally anywhere else in Great Temple. So you might as well just translate that hint to Emerald Translator is somewhere in Great Temple. A beam can be found in Main Energy Controller.
More than likely that's going to be the first visit there, but there is a chance that could be the second.
Yeah, that means our only way into Great Temple is via Violet Translator. Or, actually no, it could also be via Missile Launcher taking the Emerald Door, because that door is always down in random elevators.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, without Dark Visor Seekers, getting back is going to be easier said than done.
And Sand Cache has the other progressive grapple.
Oh, would you look at that? Screw attack before portal access, eh?
8 minutes and 20 seconds into the seed, we have our screw attack.
All right, let's see what's over here in Portal Access A. I'm trying to think what else is left in terms of checks. Mining Station, I don't remember if Naii actually checked Mining Station access. There's a Light Beam. Ooh,
We
Amber plus Light Beam. So we actually already have Meeting Grounds access once we get to Great Temple somehow. So, because we have Meeting Grounds access, it's not a suitable... It's still not a safe path from Meeting Grounds to to the Violet side of Temple Grounds yet, so it's not... Great Temple's still not really in logic safely. Okay, light ammo tank in Mining Station access. Okay, Naii must have picked that up because he's running 70 light ammo.
that he did.
The Violet translators in GFMC compound. That is an excellent hint, especially since we now have Screw Attack.
And if they find missile launcher along the way, they can just easily slide right into Great Temple as well.
Oh, what's Naii doing here? Is Naii using a Z-axis Screw Attack?
Oh.
Impressive.
Oh, I'd never seen that before. That's pretty good. I almost thought he didn't hit the block though.
That's some good heads-up knowledge of the Z-axis, because yeah, a little fun fact about Screw Attack for those not in the know. Normally, Space Jump sets your maximum Screw Attack ceiling, but by default, it's set to the 0 point on the Z-axis. Alright, so Op taking a minute to think about how to proceed here, and with Light Beam, early Dark Aegon isn't that bad. Jump Guardian should be a relatively easy check. That is the only check besides Transport Center available in this region right now.
We can at least peek Crossroads, which I will be doing right now.
Yeah, let's see what that is. I'm going to need to look at the playback on that one. I think it was an ammo tank, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I couldn't see it either. The text was in the way.
Yeah, I think it was either an ammo tank. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was an ammo tank. Now, runners for now seeking to avoid going to GFMC, and the reason being is they're looking for missiles or Violet Trans. Well, they know where Violet Translator is, but ideally, wow, Naii just showing off all the movement skills today. That's a BNSJ to get to Jump Guardian without bomb jumping. Naii electing not to go for Trial Tunnel just yet.
Well, he can't because he doesn't have missiles. There's a missile door to it.
Right. Can you tell I'm not used to late missile launcher?
Mm-hmm. You don't really remember where the red hatches are until you don't have missiles, and you are suddenly confronted by the fact that there is one there. And there's a missile in Junction C.
Alright, so no need to worry about Spider Ball yet. Might have to come back for Incash 4, though, because a late Dark Beam tends to make Incash 4 have progression more times than I can count. Now, the fact that we also got a Torvis key early is a little bit concerning.
Oh, we'll be fine. True. Okay, so Op is opting to check Transport Center right away. Meanwhile, as Naii is perfectly in sync with him right now, as he goes back to check as well. That's funny. Yeah, because most runners they're kind of faced with the question if they should just peek Transport Center right away, or like just turn around as soon as they unlock the gate there. It's kind of an out of the way check. Luckily, Space Jump is right in here, so this was important.
And with Space Jump Screw Attack, that now means both items in GFMC are in play.
And thankfully, Naii has beat Jump Guardian, so he will be able to get the item on top of the ship.
Looks like Op is going to go ahead and in the direction of Jump Guardian anyway, just to get that out of the way and not leave any stone unturned for GFMC. Very defensible play, very sensible.
Mm-hmm.
Because Violet could be either the crate or the ship at this point. When it comes to Randomania, if the logic says a check can be progression, it can be progression.
Mm-hmm. Especially with them knowing that Violet is at GFMC, they don't necessarily know if it's locked behind Jump Guardian or not. So it's just best to do it.
For all we know, we could just have a vanilla missile launcher.
That's possible. No Dark Beam, so we're going to be screw attacking Dark Missile Trooper today.
Yeah, screw attack works. I prefer light beam.
Well, Naii has now officially validated his run.
Yeah, and I would wager Op is going to be doing something similar in a bit.
That is pretty good routing now. Because of the landing site start, you could just actually pick up Hive Chamber A and B, actually. It was a progressive grapple, so they actually didn't really need to come down here right away.
Alright, Op also getting the light beam pulled out for the Jump Guardian KO. But yeah, our next stop is definitely going to be GFMC, because there really is actually nothing else we can do. So this is going to be a bit of a bottleneck here at the 15-minute mark. I'm cutting in a little bit close there with Jump Guardian, taking a bit more damage than I'm sure he would have liked, but nevertheless pulls out the victory. So how are we looking on equipment? So far, Morph Ball-wise, we've only got bombs. Beam-wise, we have light, and we know where another beam is, which is in Great Temple. On Umos, either 1 or 2. Pretty likely it's 1. And we're going to see Op Warp to start here and catch up on the DMT checks.
Reliquary hint, it will be a Morph Ball related upgrade.
That could actually be anything.
Yeah, that will not be fun if it is something. Well, we do already have one progressive suit, though, so just have to find the other elusive one, as well as Seekers.
Alright, so yeah, the GFMC crate is an energy tank, so Violet Translator is in fact locked by Jump Guardian today.
Thankfully, an E-Tank being on the crate, we get to dupe it, because triggering that cutscene respawns the crate and the item.
So with Violet Translator, and we now have a way into Great Temple, and with Light Beam and Amber, we do have Meeting Grounds access. And whether it's Dark or Annihilator in the main Great Temple, that does also give us Torvis access through Meeting Grounds, just as I had said earlier too. So, yeah, we could actually have Missile Launcher and Torvis here.
Yeah, we could see runners enter Torvis the intended way.
Now, Nai's going to go ahead and use the Violet door at Temple Assembly Site to go in instead of go straight through Great Temple. Now, unfortunately, I think this means that since Nai's coming in from this way, the Emerald door is actually going to be up. It only stays down if you come from the Emerald side in random elevators, and this is typically, technically, it's a random elevator seed, since we had to go with one-way elevators to anywhere to move the Aegon Gate elevator to Aegon Temple access.
We do have a hint that Emerald is here, and it, in fact, is right there. So it doesn't look like that'll be much of a problem.
There you go. And luckily, Light Beam does actually make Splinters and even Alpha Splinter pretty much a cakewalk.
Fun fact, regular Alpha Splinter is also weak to Light Beam.
I only just learned that this week.
Yeah, same here. Because it basically, the way that the game works is that it just, once Alpha Splinter transforms, it just makes it vulnerable to weapon attacks. It doesn't actually like change any attributes on it. And he has another missile expansion.
Alright, so we can now basically check everything in Great Temple courtesy of that Emerald Translator. We can now go and grab the item in Transport A access perfectly in logic. And if this is Dark Beam, we're actually, regardless of which beam this is, we have access to Phazon Grounds. But given that I didn't see any steam coming out, it's probably Dark Beam.
Mm-hmm. So, yep, that is Phazon Grounds, Torvus access. Yeah, a lot of Torvus actually.
Alright, so we got some Inghive key hints, and they were Dark Aegon, Dark Torvus, and I didn't see where the third one was.
I didn't either. I have conditioned myself to ignore that hint because it is more than likely going to be irrelevant. But, oh, there's the other light suit, so...
Ooh, that puts Fortress Transport access into play now, courtesy of that Emerald Translator.
Okay.
So now Nai's got a bit of a choice to make.
So now I'm thinking that Reliquary actually does have something important.
Yeah, that could be like main power bombs or Spider Ball.
Yeah. And more than likely, Seekers would probably be in Phazon Grounds. Or FTA, which would be bad. Routing wise.
Yeah, what we may see runners do is a choice available here is to go down back to GFMC and check Fortress Transport access and then route that into a Phazon Grounds check, but we also have Plane of Dark Worship access too.
At least since we have both of our progressive suits, that means that Plane of Dark Worship will not be one today.
Not this time, for once. That is a major upgrade.
That fighter?
It's a ball upgrade of some kind, and it is boost.
Ooh.
It was either boost or cannon, but yeah, boost is really nice because that gives us sand processing back in Aegon. That also gives us access to Sank entrance. Not in logic without power bombs or spider ball, but we can now go there, and we're only Dark Visor Seekers from being able to go through into Sanctuary itself. And it looks like Naii is going to head back in the direction of GFMC to check these items. Yeah, I like this play because, again, you're not going to be heading back to this region for potentially a very long time. So the last thing you want to do is have this be something like Supers or Seeker Missiles, or Dark Visor especially at this point, because that may come into play soon.
Mm-hmm. And they could also get hints right now. With that light suit, Dark World access. Or, well, granted, they don't have any missile upgrades, but they could potentially wall crawl to it.
Indeed.
I don't know if anyone's actually going to attempt to make that play, because the wall crawl is pretty lengthy, but granted, they have light suit, so they have all the time in the world.
And in Fortress Transport access, just another energy tank. Not unwelcome, but not what we're looking for either. The boost ball can be found in Sky Temple grounds. Well, it's a good thing we just picked that up, and it looks like Naii is interested in Sank entrance here. This is a very interesting play. Yeah, we can. It is possible to get this without Spider Ball, but it requires some very, very precise screw attacks. Great Temple has the last hive key. Okay, so the last hive key is on Tumos.
Huh. Okay, well that's good to know. That is probably the most roundabout way of knowing that Tumos is dead. But still good nonetheless.
Right, we don't have missiles.
Yeah, we're very under-equipped for this fight. And you can't screw attack through their shields either. So annoying.
But you can detonate Phazon canisters near them.
Nice. And now we have to come back and reload the room for the... I think both the orb cannons and the big cannon respawn with the reload.
Pretty much. But yeah, what we're going to see Naii do here is, unfortunately, dealing with these flying pirates is going to be way easier said than done with no trackable weapons besides Charged Light Beam, which isn't exactly effective in this scenario. Oh, bonks off the platform. And it looks like AWP is going to make the dive to Phazon grounds. So we're getting some very interesting divergence here. Naii still going, Naii going out of logic here, but is hoping that this might be an early missile-based upgrade that could pay out in the long run.
Oh, that's main PBs in Phazon grounds.
Oh wait, were they shining through the oh, never mind,
Yep.
I'm looking at the wrong stream. Ooh, that's a big break for AWP. That actually almost puts Sank Entrance in logic. It now only needs Spider Ball.
More than likely the oh yeah, we found PBs and boosts, so Reliquary more than likely is going to be Spider.
Alright, so Nai's in the turret, so we're gonna see what actually is in here, and I have no idea what that is.
I just think he's gonna look.
Well, if it was important, I would have attempted a screw attack to get to it.
Yeah, I think that was light ammo.
Alright, so AWP walking out of this area with main power bombs is now going to add an extra check, multiple extra checks into his Temple Grounds repertoire. Could add Dynamo Chamber, both Wind Chambers as well. With Wind Chamber itself still being out of logic until Secret Missiles show up, but nevertheless, I'm sure AWP knows one trick or another to dodge Wind Chamber.
I like this route divergence here with that light suit. It gives you a lot of different ways to check, like, you know.
Yeah, and another thing that I wonder if another thing I wonder is if now we pretty much can clear all of Dark Labs except Feeding Pit. So I wonder if Feeding Pit is relevant. That early light suit is very suspicious. Unfortunately, that usually means a lot of Sky Temple keys are going to be behind light suit checks, and unfortunately, the light suit checks are spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it did sound like, based on the audio cue, that there was an item of some kind in Dynamo Chamber, so... And not a key, so... Yeah, here's $1 million question. Where's our missile launcher? We've got both suits, 3 translators, the usual beam, screw attack, and no missile launcher.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be willing to bet that it's somewhere in Torvis, probably. Maybe like Torvis Temple. Something.
All right. Double checking that to make sure this isn't Cannonball before getting it somewhat unnecessarily. A progressive suit is exactly 2 rooms away from Emerald Translator. Thanks, game. Actually, chat brings up a great. Actually, can we get to Feeding Pit with this equipment? Yes. What we could do is we have to go from the Sand Canyon side of Aegon Temple to Labs. We can do that because the elevator takes us to the temple, circumventing the need for missile launcher right now. So yeah, Backdoor Labs is currently the only way to get to Backdark Aegon. Now that being said, Nai's going to open this door here just in case it ends up being more preferable for him to come out the front door on the way out.
Yeah, you always want to open up that gate. The BSJ to get over it is not fun. Especially if you beat Dark Samus in Labs. That triggers a layer where there's 2 flying pirates, and they just are going all crazy while you're trying to get a dumb standable. It's not the best experience.
Alright, now Op is going to go ahead and check out Wind Chamber here. Courtesy of those main power bombs, which are perfectly in logic, courtesy of that Emerald Translator. Alright, Mineshaft had nothing of importance, so Nai's going to go ahead and skip straight through Sand Canyon here and go straight into Ventilation Area A. Ooh, Spiders, well, Hazing Cliff specifically, but we can go to Sanctuary now with this equipment. That looks to be a missile tank in Wind Chamber.
Now, did Op grab an extra power bomb? He did. Nice.
Yeah, you definitely want to make it a practice to not forget to grab a power bomb in GFMC, because otherwise you're relying on an 80% drop chance from the Flying Pirates, which, granted, it's a chance that is in your favor, but it could still backfire on you. Alright, so Wind Chamber Gate, not the answer for a change.
And another ETM and Storage D.
Been finding a lot of those lately.
Yeah. Do you know how many are in the pool for this?
There should be 3.
Okay.
Although with Violet shuffled, actually, I think it's only 2.
Okay, so then that's both of them.
Alright, there is a missile-related upgrade in Dark Oasis. Can that be Seeker missiles?
I
don't think so. No, because to get down to Lower Torvis, you need supers. And Dark Oasis's item will not spawn until you get the item off Powerbomb Guardian. So yeah, that could be Seekers, but it can't be Missile Launcher. Alright, Naii is going to take a quick peek at Central Mining Station, and it is of no interest to him.
So I assume now that he is going to be going for Doomed Entry? Or
probably...
he didn't do Storage Speed, did he? Oh, there's Seekers.
Seeker Launcher in Command Center. That is a weird spot for it, because it should be noted, I don't know if Seeker missiles let you fire missiles, but it's not considered logical. I think Seekers do let you fire missiles, but I don't know. It definitely doesn't count as logical missile launcher.
I didn't think about that, actually.
Alright, yeah. Seeker launcher required, but the missile launcher is required to use it. Stop me if you've heard that one before, chat.
Naii also hitting the Space Pirate above with the boost ball. That's funny.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know how big the hitbox for boost ball was.
Alright, now without missiles, we actually can't go past Sand Processing or Storage B, or we can't get to Storage B, so we only have the checks here in Doomed Entry and Battleground. That's all we get.
Yeah. And coming from main reactor, you need missiles to break the ramp, so he can't get to sand processing.
Right.
Huh.
All right, we're going to see both Feeding Pit and In Cache 1, courtesy of the obnoxiously large amount of equipment we have. That is Sonic Boom. And in Feeding Pit, we have the Dark Visor. Oh no, that's Dark Visor Seekers. Reliquary is actually almost in play. We just need a missile launcher.
Man. This could be a missile launcher go mode seed. It looks like it more and more.
All right, in Sand Canyon, we have a missile tank. And what is that, a light ammo tank? Yep. All right, so we have 2 checks now available in Doomed Entry, courtesy, or not Doomed Entry, Battleground, courtesy of that Dark Visor. And is that?
That's something.
I think it was just a missile tank in Battleground, actually.
I thought it was Super's first.
And that looks also like a missile tank, so Op is going to go ahead and take a quick peek at Hazencliff and Spider's treasure. Now, Hazencliff is perfectly in logic with this gear, so it may give Op a lucky Spider Ball, but we know the main thing that everybody's looking for now, strangely enough at the 35-minute mark, is Missile Launcher.
Unfortunately, Naii doesn't have PBs, so he can't route in Spider's side right now, which would be pretty convenient for him.
Indeed. Yeah, and I think that at this point, Naii is not going to be compelled to head back in that direction for quite some time. So I think with this power bomb, with these power bombs, Op does have a bit of an advantage here for some time, depending on if anything good is locked behind it.
Oh. Hey.
And
it is a pretty pesky BSJ main reactor if you want to get back to Sand Canyon, because you have to screw attack bunk to get just a little bit of extra height so that you can actually get to the door.
Interesting. Wonder if we're going to see a seekerless mining station B here. It won't have missile launcher, but it could still be done. Imagine that, seekerless mining station B with seeker missiles.
There's our second Torvis key.
Why is that a second perfectly in logic Torvis key? Can Chica even have? Chica could absolutely. Chica could, with main power bombs as your way around. Chica could absolutely have missile launcher. Because I'm trying to think. Yeah, you can go.
Yeah, because there's no super locks to Chica.
Right. If you have to go around Putrid Alcove with power bombs.
Mm-hmm. That's. Ooh.
Is missile launcher needed to fight Chica? Oh yeah. You need missiles to break the You need missiles to break the first 4 things to start the larva fight.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
At least I think you need missiles.
I would kind of think so. I don't really see any other practical way of breaking them. I don't think charge shots work on them, so.
Yeah, I don't think if there are any alternative methods, I doubt they're in beginner logic. All right, Nai's going to take a detour here to In Cache 4.
And no, don't break the Lightbringer.
Oh, we don't need it. We have Light Suit.
Yeah, but the Lightbringers are so cute, though. They're just chilling. Oh, well, there's launcher.
Missile launcher behind Dark Beam. So that required Violet Translator 2. So that required Alpha Splinter and Jump Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. That is a yikes spot for missile launcher. We'll see if Op heads back in that direction too. Well, I don't call this stuff on purpose, chat. I did say earlier that when Dark Beam is mid-game, stuff tends to be an in-cache 4.
I had a race a few days ago that had Annihilator in there. That was required for Sentinel's Path. Not the best. And that's a Aegon key. That's not vanilla. I'm pretty sure Aegon key 3 or 1.
It's usually 1 that's in there normally,
1.
but yeah. Naii actually being kind of smart to not pick that up here, because if a Morbus ends up being required, you can just grab that key later, and it will force reload the temple anyway, so that way you could just fight a Morbus, if that's your last key.
Mm-hmm.
Might be the 3rd key. Actually, you might have been right. It might have been the 3rd key that's in Trial Tunnel.
I don't remember. I was told that the keys are numbered based on when you have access to them. So I think that's the first one, because, I mean, in a vanilla playthrough, you just go to Jump Guardian and you can get that right away. So.
All right, so AWP is heading back in the direction of in cache 4 here, and is also going to pick up the item here in Crossroads, which I'm pretty sure we established earlier was an expansion. Mm-hmm. Oh, is electing to go in the direction of the portal instead of going out the save station to go to in cache 4.
Interesting.
All right, well, with this equipment, we do have effectively almost full upper Torvus access here, because with Emerald Translator, we can just go right around Underground Tunnel into main Torvus proper.
At this point, I don't really know what could be an Underground Tunnel. Perhaps Supers or Echo?
Yeah, we actually don't have a lot of major items left. We have potential... Oh, you know what's in play, though, now? Reliquary. And it looks like what Nai's going to do here... It looks like what Nai's actually going to do here is go out of bounds in the temple and trigger the pirate fight now. And just get that force field down. And what this does is it basically reduces the crash risk in this area. Because, yeah, the Torvus Temple has a very good chance of crashing if you haven't lowered the force field and you try to super missile that door. Oh, no. I stand corrected. Naii is actually going to out of bounds ether jump to Torvus Energy Controller.
I don't know if this is usually... I don't think this really ends up being worth it. This does skip supers to get up there, but I don't know if you're not the best at aether jumping, more than likely it's not really worth it.
Well, what this does do is once you pick up the item from Torvus Energy Control, you can also activate the elevator, so that way when you can come from down to up at any time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Makes it up relatively fast.
It's just trying to find the door now. Now needs to load the temple access way. And then one ceiling warp should fix it. Oh, except I think Naii went a little too far to the side there. Has to back off a little bit just to get out of Torvus Temple access's ether box.
There we go. Nicely done.
And yeah, Nai's gonna trigger the fight first here. For some reason, shooting the door triggers the fight.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. That's not common in any other encounters. He does make quick work of the fight, though. First stage.
Indeed. I think Nai's emulator didn't like the raindrops on the visor. Yeah. I don't know what if Naii plays on Dolphin or not, but Dolphin really doesn't like distortion effects. Alright, so Op is leaving Dark Aegon with missiles in tow. Decides to yeet the pirate out of spite, probably because that was admittedly a pretty trash spot for missile launcher. And let's see how Op decides to respond to this, because there are now a few more checks in labs available, all the way from Storage B to Sand Processing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He went to eCache 4 right away. Naii didn't do labs.
By the way, if in case you ever had any doubts about missile launcher being in Cache 4, there it is, locked by Emerald Translator, which I'm fairly certain that is a missile launcher locked hint anyway. Thanks, game. Ugh, honestly. But yeah, Naii is now going to, with the elevator and the Torvus Energy Controller item, just go ahead and proceed around the underground tunnel loop. Finds Cannonball in underground tunnel. Certainly not unwelcome. Not exactly what we're looking for, though.
I mean, with the two...
Oh, no. That said that Cannonball said something about being 2 rooms away from somewhere in Ing Hive. Let me read that one more time. Hive reactor access. That means super missiles are in Hive entrance. Or Spiderball, rather. Spiderball is in Hive entrance. Don't know why I have Spiderball on my mind today.
But that also does make Reliquary not anything. Because we have all of our other Morph Ball items.
True. That means now we're going on a ginormous hunt for super missiles, and there's a lot of places where those can be, except Lower Torvus. Lower Torvus is pretty much isolated with supers. Can supers be on Spider Guardian? Oh, yes.
There's our last Torvus key in Med Vista.
Okay, that's concerning.
Granted, Cannonball was in underground tunnel, so hopefully that comes in handy.
Maybe there's at the very least convenience in underground tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
What cancels Cannonball again? To answer your question, chat, it's just entering another Morph Ball cannon or resetting your game. Thankfully, Warp to Starts do not remove Cannonball. Now, Naii is realizing that going to Plaza may risk losing Cannonball. And without Spider Ball, can't get it anyway, so... it likes to bust out here. This does open up the way to Boost Guardian, though, so that may be Nai's... oh, nope, Nai's more interested in going to Forgotten Bridge. Not Forgotten Bridge, excuse me, Abandoned Worksite.
Abandoned Bridge 2, Great Bridge. I mean, I guess Chica is something that you want to just get out of the way while you're here. You mean, you have all the keys, you have Cannonball, so... probably earlier than all of us expected, but I guess fine. It's our second Aegon key.
That's a little bit concerning. I don't remember if we got a good look at Mining Plaza earlier. I don't think we did.
No, I don't think anyone actually even went to Mining Plaza. Naii just went there to check the hint, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Op did the same thing. Alright, we got another hint that reads, the Cobalt Translator is in Transit Station, and there's Gravity Boost in Path of Roots. Alright, Transit Station should be open to us right now, given we know where Spider Ball is. Yeah. So, yeah, we have access to Cobalt Translator. That's not a bad spot for Cobalt Translator, either.
No, yeah. Because, yeah, we can get that.
Yeah, we just have to go around.
Yeah. And with this gravity boost, Torvus Lagoon is in logic.
I would probably be the kind of guy that acts to just air underwaters in Torvus Lagoon by complete accident anyway, just completely forgetting that I just picked up gravity.
Mm-hmm. I actually did that the other day. It is certainly possible.
And
It
Naii is
seems.
saying that's enough for now and is going to take a save warp. Looks like he's going to also be saving Atlantic Site. This might be a play for Superless Sky Temple key hints.
So far, it doesn't seem like anything's been profitable in labs.
Indeed, that's a beam-related upgraded defiled shrine, so that's dead. We have Hall of Honor dead checkable in this area as well. So through here, we can get back to meeting grounds via screw attack into the tunnel or double jump instant morph, take your pick. Ooh,
Whoa.
Naii gets it.
Nice,
Little wonky
nice
camera
job.
there, but no complaints. All right, this hint reads, the power bomb is in Phazon grounds.
Oh.
Naii just got bailed out big time.
Wow, that's big. He's probably going to pick that immediately up once he gets hints.
Absolutely. Because, yeah, with power bombs in tow and the knowledge of Spider Ball, Naii is suddenly in a very good position right here. Unfortunately, the advantage Op had with those main power bombs is going to start dwindling real fast here. Nice thing is that courtesy of Light Suit, we have all the time in the world to do this.
Yeah, but I'd say, like, for energy requirements with Dark Suit, you'd probably, if you're good at this, you'd probably want, like, 3 tanks. And then,
2, maybe 3, because the nice thing about having Dark Suit is that once you at least get the out of bounds into base access, you can get some extra refills there.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Nai's gonna... Looks like Naii decided to, instead of going out and around, went down through the middle and just waited to get the ether jump again.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because one ceiling warp into here, and now Naii should be okay. Has successfully loaded War Ritual Grounds. And is that a Sky Temple key? Yes, it is.
It is.
And Nai's going to leave that behind because that key can just be picked up on the way to Sky Temple. That could be a very easy key 9. Now, that being said, doesn't realize he doesn't have super missiles.
He skips supers, only to forget that he doesn't. He does have Seekers, though.
Yeah, that's the other reason why, yeah, with Secret Missiles in tow, you probably on Dark Suit could do this with just one energy tank. Alright, let's go get our remaining hints. Now, Nai's picked up only the one key in, I don't even remember what key
Mining
Naii
Station
found.
A was the first key.
That's the one. Alright, here's our remaining keys. Watch Station. Or was that Watch Station Access?
Access. Mining Station B.
Mining Station B, okay. Aerial Training Site.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Not bad so far.
Aerial Training Site's a bit out of the way, but otherwise not too bad. Transit Tunnel East, so that gravity boost is required. Sacrificial Chamber, Grapple Guardian.
Chamber.
That's not too bad. Storage C, we need super... Well, unless you want to add a bounce for that, but have fun.
Getting out of storage seas.
War Ritual, we knew that one already. And lastly, Cache B. So the keys actually... We are in Super Missile Go mode. The keys actually really aren't that bad. We don't even need Cobalt Translator or Echo Visor potentially.
Now, granted,
interesting.
Supers could be on Chica.
Supers can be pretty much any. They can be literally anywhere in Sanctuary, or they can be in a couple places in Torvis and Aegon that we may have missed, like for example, Storage A. Now that being said, Cache B and Storage C can both be skipped. That being said, I don't know how to do them, so we'll see if our runners can show me how it's done here. But yeah, it looks like Op deciding to stay in Aegon has actually ended up working not in his favor today, as really the information and the progression have both been found in Torvis. With Gravity, the Spider Ball knowledge, and the last Torvis key.
Yeah, and the bailout with the power bombs.
Yeah, Naii very much got bailed out by that hint.
That's where he's going right now.
Alright, so with Dark Visor Seekers as well, we do have Sank access through the front. Naii just double checking Curse Lake real quick. So yeah, now comes the million-dollar question: where are super missiles? Unfortunately, Naii did reset away his cannonball.
I don't know, I would be inclined to say Chica because those Corvus keys were pretty early.
They were early and pretty not just early, but in very logically reasonable locations to be picked up, sort of not one after the other, but in fairly close succession. Now that being said, Op is going to go ahead to Mining Station B, get the Sky Temple key, and read the hint. Alright, the Mining Station B hint reads that the keys to Torvis Temple have already been found, pretty much.
Okay.
Alright, so it looks like Op is going to pick this up with the drill raise. There is a way to get this without doing the whole Dark Aegon sequence here by getting a BSJ screw attack off of the elevated drill. Alternatively, it is possible to get a double BSJ into a screw attack off of the lower drill, at which point, if you screw attack correctly and basically break out of your screw right as you're coming onto the upward incline of Mining Station B's item, you can get it that way too, without even having to use Boost Ball. An interesting property about doing the drill puzzle is it also causes the drill to sort of duplicate, like you just saw there.
Interesting. I've never seen Mining Station be this way.
I'm not sure if this is even standable. I would assume Op, it's a trick Op is more familiar with than I am, so... But it looks like he is going to get it the old-fashioned way here.
Looks like Naii he'll be pilfering Sanctuary from the front. He knows where that Cobalt is, so Sank Map Station could also have supers.
Very true, and Cobalt is in a very reasonable spot right now to route that inefficiently. All right, so Op is now about to pick up the mining station B key. We'll see where he chooses to head afterwards here. He's going to check storage A as well, because I don't think he's done that yet. Yep, pulling out the light beam. And just a beam ammo tank, so still no luck on the front of those super missiles. Now, Naii is actually electing to go to Spider's treasure first here because he knows that Spider Ball is in Hive entrance.
This is a good idea. Ugh. That's Spider Ball and Hive entrance sucks because you can't beat Spider Guardian. To get the hint for it from the key bearer, you have to rely on it being hinted elsewhere, which thankfully it was.
Right, because, yeah, you need to be on the Dark Samus layer for that. She has to destroy the bridge. Because, yeah, Calling Chamber's 3 rooms away, because between that, there's Unseen Way and Hive Reactor itself. So, yeah, we're about to enter Hive Reactor access here, and this room is 2 rooms away from Hive entrance. There's not a particularly large number of checks in Inghive, but the few that are there are very difficult. Besides Calling Chamber and Hazing Cliff, those are pretty much free. I think, was that a sunburst in Mining Plaza?
Maybe? I didn't look particularly important.
I don't think it's super missiles.
There it is.
Spider Ball and Hive entrance, folks. That being said, this seat has actually been pretty jet-ish, really.
Yeah.
Not jet per se, but it's definitely been actually not too bad. Now, the downside is we're on potentially a big hunt for super missiles. And they can be, again, literally anywhere in Sanctuary. I think it helped that with Missile Launcher being so late and behind Dark Beam, the game put a lot of other progression in front of it. So yeah, super missiles are definitely the big question mark, but just about where else could super missiles be? Boost Guardian, anywhere in Dark Torvis, pretty much except Cash B, but we already know, and Dark Lower Torvis, but we already know that's a super missile lock anyway.
Oh. Naii didn't get Hazing Cliff, so he actually doesn't have all of his Torvis keys.
Right.
So he's probably not thinking about Chica right now.
I don't blame him. But yeah, that's the hint from for Op revealing that Spider Ball is in Hive entrance. Now with main power bombs, though, Op is going to go ahead and quickly check Torvis Grove. Naii could not do this earlier. And that is a beam ammo tank. Supers in Putrid Alcove would be pretty nasty for Naii now, too, because Nai's not going to be coming back to Torvis for a bit.
Oh.
That being said, it looks like Naii might actually already be heading in the direction of Storage C. He might be thinking about skipping super missiles here. Which, if that is the case, then yeah, Nai's already good to go here.
Well, that is Op's last Torvis key. So he also has Cannonball, so he is probably more inclined to check Chica now.
Alright, so yeah, Naii is going to take a safety save. Yeah, this is an attempt for sure to skip super missiles.
You know what? Yeah, I like this play. We literally have no info on supers, so if he knows it, to play out in his favor.
I think what Nai's going to do here is just try to screw attack into the tunnel from the other side.
Yeah, you technically can get out of bounds both ways, but the way next to bio energy is infinitely easier since it's elevated.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what Nai's doing. I've only recently learned the screw attack as well. Yeah, now because both rooms are loaded, the ether box for security, or the ether box for this room is a little on the lower side. So Naii does have to kind of improvise and not load storage C before getting into it. So yeah, let's see how Naii handles this. I think, how do you get out of storage C when you have to make sure storage C isn't loaded for one thing, and then you have to do a precise screw attack, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm pretty sure there's a precise screw attack that clips you.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of collision here in Nai's way, so...
Yeah, falling down. It's because part of storage C is on top of bio energy. Game will be fine.
Call me crazy, but I think Naii is actually using storage C's ether box. Oh, no. This is, no, this is still bioenergy's ether box. It's just that it's so far out from the door because of where storage C is placed, as you said earlier. Okay, so storage C is now loaded, partially.
Oh, uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, is he planning on getting the item from the bottom?
That's what I thought he was doing, but I don't think so. I don't think that's possible, because it's impossible to get an ether jump from below storage C.
Yeah. It's...
So yeah, this is gonna be a ceiling warp.
Okay.
Now, how does one get out?
You have to soft screw attack right in that wedge there. And gets its second try. Okay.
Well done, Naii. Yeah, if
Wow.
Naii can do the same for Cash B, he's very much in a position to take this race very soon.
Cash B is probably infinitely easier to get in, but I don't know how you would get out. I think it's supered on both ways.
Cash B is... I don't think Cash B is super both ways, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it's either.
Yeah,
actually.
Cash B is not super both ways.
So yeah, this could be superless seed.
Yeah, Naii is very much in a good position here. Just has to navigate out back to bioenergy safely here. That being said, Boost Guardian did not have super missiles, so yeah, looks like time is running out for awp to catch the progression here.
He doesn't have hints yet, so I don't even really know if he finds supers here, how well that will help him.
All right, that's an energy tank in Putrid Alcove. All right, so now Nai's going to ceiling warp into bioenergy. And just like that, is out.
Successfully stolen SDK.
All right, missile tank in Cache A.
E-tank.
That is now officially on my list of tricks that I need to practice overnight tonight before I race tomorrow against Gollum. I need to know how to skip supers for those two rooms.
Yeah, Cash B is infinitely easier because you learn that in part of getting to lower Torvus early.
The good old Cash B chasm.
Because for those not in the know, that Cash B replaces the elevator in Light Torvus, but the door is still there, as well as the entire Aether Box Cash B. So you can get out of bounds in Dark Torvus Temple, transition to Cash B, fall down, and then transition to an invisible door frame into
what's it, Under Temple Shaft,
Mm-hmm.
and pop right in bounds right in time to fight Grapple Guardian, which is also something that Nai's probably going to have to do since Sacrificial Chamber is also an SDK.
Now, the nice thing about doing Cash B Chasm is that once you do get to Lower Torvus, getting out is easy because just like Cash B, the door is only supers, the Light Torvus door is only supers locked from one side.
And he has done the fight, so the invisible barrier that's blocking the way will not be a problem.
Op is thinking about Chica here. This might be an ammo refill for the fight.
Yep. You don't want to run out of ammo on Chico. That's so bad. There's that Dark Torvus key in, so that gives him info on the one that he missed in Hazing Cliff. But more than likely, he's not going to care about that.
Yeah, I think we're lucky that missile launcher wasn't too far down than besides in Cache 4, because if it was any further, I think we might have had some more headaches here. Meanwhile, Op is giving us that Chica fight.
And when it comes to fighting Chica fast, Chica Larva is very complicated, I guess, because a lot of it's not quite RNG, but it's based on your position and where Chica is. I think Aaron wrote up a whole document on how to do Chica fast. You want to use charged light beam shots when it's swimming.
Yeah, Charge Light does the most neutral damage of any beam.
Then you usually want to super it here instead of a light beam, but more than likely you won't be able to anticipate it fast enough to actually fire the super and hit it.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight shot. And on top of that, Op doesn't have super missiles anyway, so can't even do that.
True.
All right, Ops, or rather, Nai's next stop is going to be the watch station access key.
I guess apart from that
Interesting.
spider ball, doesn't really seem that Sank was all that important. Just 2 SDKs.
Of mild interest there, I wasn't aware that if you go too far to the side, like in the dark water, Chica just flat out won't do anything.
Huh. Interesting.
Makes sense. Chica's not an owl, can't turn its head 90 degrees.
Huh. Interesting. I guess you hardly ever have light suit in time for Chipper.
That's true. Light suit before Chica is very rare.
One more charge shot will do. There we go. And Op should still have Cannonball, so yep. Chica adult will be dead in 3, 2, 1.
Nice and quick fight, but it is not a super missile.
What?
There's-
Dang.
You know
Op smack.
something? I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if super missiles are the other check-in aerial training site.
That is possible.
Because aerial training site is another really good hotbed for progression.
Mhm. Yeah. So, Chica really was just a big debate the whole time.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate because it was looking pretty good, and it not a bad gamble from Op. Oh, there they are. They're in watch
Okay.
station.
Well, wow.
Well, that saves Naii a little bit of trouble for Cash B.
Yeah. That's kind of anticlimactic, but whatever.
Yeah, so those only just got put into logic from Spider Ball in Hive entrance.
Mm. Just-
Okay, and luckily for Naii, the key is just right here on the wall.
So far, it seems like it's Nai's game.
I would definitely say it's Nai's game at this point because he's in go mode now.
Mhm.
He was already playing as if he was in go mode. I'm pretty sure he was planning on skipping supers for Cash B, but just so happened to fall into them on the way.
Yeah, and Op is nowhere near supers right now. I guess that he is not comfortable with the wall crawl to hints. That's why he hasn't gotten them yet. He's been waiting for supers.
Could be.
But
All right, so Nai's now going to improvise, improvise through this elevator to get to Lower Torvis to go get the key in Transit Tunnel East and Grapple Guardian. But wisely make sure to grab a power bomb before leaving the house.
yep, because this section has the most accurately replaced power bomb doors. In my opinion, it's worse than Grand Wind Chamber.
Because you can't get any power bombs down in here. There is a blog down here, but I don't think you can even aggro it.
It's not that you can't aggro it; it's that there's only one of them, and in a case like this, in a room like this, you need two enemies to be KO'd before you score the drop. But
Right.
there's not two enemies, so
And first try with the statue skip.
Yeah.
Nice, just flexing on everyone today.
absolutely, Nai's movement has really been a key to him getting such a leg up in this race, despite the power bomb disadvantage earlier. But I think it's just unfortunate that despite the early power bombs for Op, there wasn't just anything behind them. Because I'm actually trying to think that besides Hive Entrance Spider Ball, there really isn't any major need for power bombs today.
Even then, I don't think that spider ball really came into play that much.
No, the only thing it was really good for was super missiles.
Mhm.
Nice having a little trouble with this bomb jump. Personally, I like to aim for the bottom of those black sort of bars.
Yeah, I use that as reference as well.
But yeah, going back on the statue skip, usually I do exactly what Naii did there, where I kind of sort of ease down into the right angle after coming straight from the flat part. But yeah, Cash B super list definitely on my to-do list to learn before tomorrow.
Op gets the cobalt hint as well as finding the gravity boost. That is a pretty conveniently placed gravity boost, now that I think about it, because
Indeed.
Lagoon is right there.
Yeah, we do know that it's necessary today, too, so... The gravity is probably one of the items that locks almost the least amount of checks, Because the only two items at hard locks are Transit's Tunnel Easts and South, and Alpha Blob. Even Cobalt Translator locks 4.
Mhm. No one opted to pick up the E-Tank in Lagoon today.
Yeah, I think with Light Suit, energy is pretty irrelevant at this point. Even after 2 tanks, 2 tanks Light Suit is pretty much enough to deal with almost anything, except maybe Alpha Blob. Alright, so we are going to see Naii just casually screw attack right up to the Grapple Guardian fight and just go out and then back in. Does have to unload the room for this to work properly.
There is a BSJ method to do that, where you position the camera inside under Transit 1, but the screw attack is so much easier. Fortunately, Naii didn't pick up that Sonic Boom back in Incash 1, so he won't be able to make quick work of Grapple Guardian's second phase. Granted, he doesn't even have Annihilator anyways. Which, yeah, we have like no info on Annihilator either.
Yeah, Annihilator and Echo are just completely isolated this scene, and yeah, I doubt I don't even think they were relevant to the placement this time around.
Yeah. I think Defiled Shrine was a beam-related upgrade, so it could be theirs.
Yes.
But, yeah. Point. It's not really worth it. If Naii remembers when he goes back, maybe he'll pick it up.
Ooh, got a nice couple of extra power bombs there. So Nai's remaining 2 keys here are going to be Cache B and War Ritual Grounds. War Ritual Grounds, again, just a really convenient key 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess his route would just be get to the elevator from here, go to Forgotten Bridge, then
Pretty much. Save warp out of Venomous Pond, and that would put him right in front of Sky Temple Gate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this seed will be should be over for Naii in about 10 minutes, barring any technical disasters.
Yeah. Despite how bad those checks were, that was surprisingly a fast seed.
Yeah, I think 2 things worked in Nai's favor here. Number 1, Power Bomb's not doing any other favors in Aegon or Torvis, and B, because Naii didn't have to burn any time on those Power Bomb checks and went to Torvis earlier, the end result is that he fell into the Power Bomb hint earlier. On top of that, learned about Spider Ball as well.
Yeah, that hint was huge. As well as finding supers during cleanup. That just infinitely helps like optimize routing.
Indeed. Alright, so AWP is now going to go ahead and get Spider Ball. Unfortunately, since we did fight Grapple Guardian, guess who?
Mm-hmm.
The
Cruel punishment of beating Grapple Guardian is all of these pirates start just appearing everywhere, out of everywhere.
You know what'll be nice in later down the road once inverted mode gets optimized a little bit more? Because yeah, a little fun fact: we're playing on Randomania 5.1 right now, but 5.2 just dropped yesterday, which adds inverted Aether.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it swaps the atmosphere damage of the two places. So light Aether would give damage, as well as they place the beacons and crystals into the same spots, and Dark Aether doesn't take any damage.
Okay, nice, just showing off at this point. Going
Yeah,
in.
what is he doing?
I mean, this is faster, like, to be fair, but
I guess.
because yeah, that's the same. There's a sort of gap in the collision there in Portal Chamber where you bust out of bounds to get out of Portal Chamber, usually after a Dark Torvus dive. But sure, now we can do it to get in too.
Why not? Also, hello Raiders from Lenophis.
You are witnessing the sort of tail end of the seed. Naii is in the middle of wrapping up with SDKs. Op, unfortunately, has not found supers. I think that was
Kind of the detriment to his routing right now. If he had supers, he would have gotten in so long ago and would have realized that he's in go mode, essentially.
Indeed. So yeah, this is going to be Nai's last, 8th key, and then the last one is War Ritual War Ritual Grounds. So that's just going to be an easy save warp out of Venomous Pond, and that'll put him right next to Sky Temple. With that, the end result of this match, if I'm looking at the challenge correctly, is that Op will go. Both runners will actually be 2-2. Naii went into this match 1-2, and Op went into this match 2-1. So this will actually tie them up going into round 5.
Op did grab Cobalt, so we'll get to see what hints were trapped behind Cobalt. I think both the Morbus hint and Chica hint were probably behind Cobalt. Well, as two most.
It's a safe bet, although the lower Torvus Emerald hints weren't checked either, so that's another 3 potential hints, and there's 6 Cobalt hints total, so given that we've seen all the Amber and Violets, that's still, and none of the jokes, now that I think about it, so there's actually a very low chance that Super Missiles are going to be hinted here.
Mm-hmm.
They might be, but it might end up pointing to one of the suits, or maybe even Amber Translator. Alright, so yeah, Op is on his way to go get Spider, and Nai's going to be picking up this last Sky Temple key. No Annihilator Beam, which would make this a little bit on the easier side, but we have seen a significant amount of beam ammo tanks, so Naii should be okay.
Yeah, if he doesn't check Defiled Shrine and it's not annihilated, it's probably going to opt for the Dark Beam strats for Dark Samus 3.
Oof, Seeker Missiles.
Yep, game has decided to troll Naii a little bit.
Now, folks, this seed was relatively calm by comparison to others, but if you're looking for some real action tomorrow, we have a triple header on tap.
Mm-hmm.
Starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, we've got Schwartz Gandhi, my partner here in the booth, versus Callum Chiss. That will be with the same RAs, actually, same RAs as we've seen today with the Aegon to Aegon, Aegon elevator to Aegon temple settings, but without main missiles required, which will hopefully not avoid any kerfuffles like the one we had today, where missile launcher was behind Dark Beam in Cache 4.
Yep.
Furthermore, we have Mr. Miguel versus Mighty Caesar at 12:30 p.m., so right after the first race, so that's very well timed. And after that, I will be taking on Gollop at 7 p.m. with, again, the same RAs. So yeah, we've come to really like this this Aegon Temple RA here.
Yeah. It was mainly just us trying to delay missiles as much as we could. And we got a little bit of a taste for it today.
Yeah, that was a pretty tight Emperor one there, but Naii managed to pull it off.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have cannonball, so we will have to adjust for that.
Ooh, managed to get the hits with the bombs. Well done. Yeah, there's a chance that sometimes the tentacles can just fall into the bombs on the way out, and it does work in your favor.
Hey, relatively quick, Emperor 2.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. And now Emperor 3 coming up. Ooh, drops out of screw too early. I do that all the time. Ooh, that should be good for a one-hit KO. There we go. Nicely done. That was a pretty good Emperor from Naii.
Alright, chat. Will we get centered today? That is the big question. Because Naii doesn't have Annihilator, so he's going to have to improvise with the setup. Hopefully he knows like damage values and stuff.
Alright, AWP is now going to go ahead and grab transit stations. Cobalt Translator. I guess AWP just wanted to go ahead and open up the mini gyro before picking this up. Naii likes for the screw attack method.
Oh, it's not getting shielded. Oh,
yeah, that's going to be an immediate center. So that's a pretty high health center, unfortunately. Now that being said, Naii should be pretty much okay here.
Did he hit her? I didn't see a recoil animation.
It's doesn't look like it hit actually. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, that actually did deal damage.
That was, ooh,
usually
that was just early enough.
Usually, in my experience, the heal only occurs when Dark Samus is at low health.
Really? I just thought it was anytime during that animation.
It's usually at low health because the game is trying to make sure that you kill Dark Samus during the DS4 phase.
Uh-huh.
Alright, now AWP is turning around to tank vault side, is remembering to grab a power bomb, but unfortunately is heading away from watch station, so won't be getting super missiles. Or no, wait, this is Sank entrance, my apologies.
More than likely, he's probably playing for hints at this point.
No doubt.
Yikes. He gets hit by the pellets there. Always feels bad. Sometimes it's really hard to figure out like where you're supposed to stand for the pellets, and it just knocks out your cannon. And you can't shoot.
Indeed. What you could do is just take a heavy missile to the face, and that does give you 30 seconds or so of flinch resistance, but that's not going to matter because Naii finishes this race and takes it.
GG's.
That is going to be a first place finish with a time of 1:34.05, and Op has chosen to take a DNF and will not be finishing. With that said, we will hope to try and get both of these runners in for an interview.
We are joined by Naii the Bath. Congrats. GG's. Race. And there's Op.
GG.
All
GG's,
right.
guys.
So this was a very interesting seed as far as the progression was concerned, because let's talk about that late missile launcher, shall we?
Yeah. What was that again?
In Cache 4,
in
behind
Cache
Dark
4.
Beam on UMOS 1, which required Violet Translator off the GFMC ship.
Right.
Right. I was very concerned that Missile Launcher was going to be facing rounds.
Yeah, actually, Naii, you very much got bailed out by the meeting grounds hint that pointed directly to power bombs, because Op had actually found those on his first pass through Great Temple. He chose to head in that direction instead, and fell
Yeah.
into power bombs earlier. The unfortunate thing about that is that as a result, there wasn't anything power bomb lock that Op was able to take advantage of from that.
Yeah, I felt like the first half hour really paid off, and then it just dropped way off from there.
Unfortunately, Super Missiles Op, you were somewhere around the corner from them after Cobalt Translator. They were in Watch Station.
Yeah, I figured that'd be something. So.
Yeah, we couldn't find any hints anywhere for Super
Yeah.
Missiles.
I'm gonna be honest. I did watch Station out of muscle memory. It wasn't my plan.
Yeah, that's funny because the only two things Sky Temple Key Super Missiles would have been good for were Storage C and Cache B, which now you did do Storage C out of bounds, and you were planning on doing Cache B the same way, but like you said, you muscle memoried into Watch Station. You just ended up getting Super Missiles along the way.
Storage C was tilting.
Did you skip supers for hints, or did you get those early?
I skipped them for hints. I went to hints like 50 minutes in.
Figured it'd be something like that.
Yeah. I figured it wasn't worth it, and I already knew where Spider was, so
Yeah, that spider ball and hive entrance would have been really bad if neither of you found the hint for it.
Yeah.
Was
once I
and-
saw Hive Reactor access, I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping supers would be on Chica, but
Yeah, we were actually
Oh.
thinking that as well, because all of those Corvus keys were very early. The only one that you missed, Naii, was Hazing Cliff. So
At that point, I wasn't making checks.
yeah, but it turns out that Chica was actually just a massive debate.
We're actually-
this one.
Yeah, we're going to find out in your credits here, Naii, where Annihilator and Echo were, because those were just completely omitted this seed. No hints.
I
for them,
missed
no-
Echo, but I saw Annihilator. Annihilator's fun.
Oh, really?
Yep, it's in Dynamaworks.
Oh, it's in the
Huh?
Dynamoworks.
Oh,
Oh,
that's what that was.
Yeah, that's a
This is
nasty spot for. That's a pretty. Well, actually, that's a good spot for Annihilator Beam if you can skip the fight.
Yeah, it's
But,
just that tunnel is probably the hardest to get into. In my
Yeah.
experience.
Personally, I prefer the slope jump screw attack method, but to each their own.
Mhm.
Just because how I was trained. But yeah, let's see where this Annihilator Beam was. Annihilator Beam was in. Oh wait, Annihilator. We
Yeah.
know. Sorry,
The Echo Visor was temple access. Thank temple access.
Sang Temple. So it was locking
That's
itself.
locked by itself.
Interesting.
Funny.
Yikes. Also, shout outs to Progressive Grapple before Aegon, or before Portal Access A. Again.
And also, Shout outs to the Hive key on Tumos.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Huh.
we saw the hive key hint, and on I don't remember who read it second, but on that second read, I saw that the last one was Great Temple, and it was like, wait a minute, we just full cleared Great Temple. There's only one check left in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
It's the most roundabout way of finding out that Quad was dead, but thankful
I mean,
nonetheless.
we knew Quad was that very early.
What
Yeah,
about
that
a
was-
Morbus?
We did not see a hint for a Morbus.
Yeah,
Nope.
Amorbus was also an Hive key in the credits.
That's funny.
But yeah, no major bosses today.
Yeah, just the early game stuff primarily, because yeah, Jump Guardian was pretty much locking the whole chain, Violet to Dark Beam to missiles.
Yeah, you had to double dip Dark Aegon. Which,
Where were the SDKs?
The SDKs
Oh,
were
boy.
in Aerial Training Site, Cache B, Storage C. You needed Gravity Boost because Transit Tunnel East was a key. War Ritual Grounds, Mining Station B, but you had found that already before reading hints. Grapple Guardian, and Storage. I said Storage C already. Yeah, that's it.
It's not too
yeah,
bad.
so you mainly just needed gravity boosts and supers.
I thought I got
that-
gravity, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
you did.
It was in a great spot too. It was in underground, not underground tunnel.
It was Path of
in-
Roots.
No,
Roots.
Path of Roots. Underground Tunnel was cannibal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
there was at the very least convenience in underground tunnel.
yeah,
Yeah, I was-
also that spider ball didn't really prove to be useful either. Besides just tempering, nothing was really locked behind it.
Supers.
I mean,
Besides
yeah,
supers,
but
yeah.
Naii ended up skipping supers. So
And it was my plan.
skipping
was.
Mhm.
Yeah. Other than that, this was actually one of the more quote-unquote reasonable seeds we've seen so far this tournament.
For
Yeah,
sure.
despite spider ball being in Hive entrance.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
early light suit and dark visor was a real indication that we were thinking maybe spider ball would be an ing reliquary for a minute.
Yeah,
Ooh, I didn't think of that. Usually, early light suit tells you there's something in either feeding pit or hive entrance. That's at least in my experience.
Yeah, because Hive Entrance only needs light suit, screw attack, dark visor, and spider ball, and power bombs.
Hive entrance does not need spider ball.
Oh yeah, Hive Entrance makes sense because spider ball was in it. I keep thinking of the spider track getting you from calling chamber from side to side faster.
mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
I actually when I first dipped into labs, I actually wasn't thinking that I couldn't actually get out because I had no missiles and I didn't have access to the safe station. That was fun. That was a little panic moment for me.
Yeah, luckily you were able to. You would have been able to get out via.
Skybunk.
Yeah. Never mind.
yeah. Well, what was interesting though is that Naii, you did labs first, like what you could have before you went back to Incash 4. And that
I
ended
was
up proving useful because nothing was really in labs besides that SDK.
Dark Visor. Dark Visor wasn't in Cache 1, I believe.
Dark
Or,
Visor
no, it
was
wasn't
in
Feeding
Feeding
Pit.
Pit,
It wasn't
yeah.
Feeding Pit.
It's feeding pit, but you could have gotten
That was required. Warrior Grounds was an SDK.
Yeah, that
And
light suit was pretty much like the point of divergence between you two.
It would have been great if Missile Launcher was actually in labs. I am still yet to see a seed with Missile Launcher in labs.
we were honestly thinking that was going to be the case too. We were thinking missile launcher and feeding pit for a while. At first, we also thought maybe missile launcher could be on Chica, but you need missiles to start the Chica fight in the first place, so never mind.
You do not need missiles.
Hmm?
You can do it with Power Beam. Even on charge. Yeah, on charge shots, they're vulnerable to them.
Oh,
Also charge
okay.
shots.
didn't know that.
If that's in
So yeah,
beginner
you can
knowledge,
have
that
Missile
could be an
Launcher and
issue.
Chica. That is possible.
Assuming that's beginner knowledge, then yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's beginner.
Hey,
Wow,
the dream
okay.
is still alive, folks.
Well, today we're all learning.
Yep. Next seed, missile launcher on Chico. Calling it right now.
With that said, the both of you are now 2-2 going into round 5. Your thoughts?
No, not at the moment.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, me too, a little bit. My practice seeds have been terrible, so not sure what to
Same.
expect other than suffering.
Fair enough. Well, with that said, folks, is there anything else you want to say before we close out?
GG.
GG's.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for tracking all that stuff.
Yeah, make sure to follow these runners. They are, as you saw today, they were very good.
Thank you.
Please support them. Also follow our trackers. Shout outs to Sam and Callum up here in the booth. They did a very good job on tracking today. Shout outs to Captain, co-host here. He is a great commentator on all this. Also a great runner. And you know what? Shouts to me as well. You know, I'm not that bad.
Yeah,
I
thank you
think.
for joining me today in the booth, Schwartz, for sure.
Yeah, no problem.
With that said, folks, again, we have a triple header on tap for you this upcoming tomorrow morning. Starting at 10 a.m., we've got Schwartz Gandhi versus Callum Chiss at 10, and then 12:30 Eastern Time, we have Mr. Miguel versus Mighty Caesar. And then at 7 p.m., I will be taking on Gollop. So, bunch of excellent matches on tap for you this upcoming Saturday. So, stay tuned to the Speed Gaming channels to know when those will be happening. With that said, folks, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you next mission. Take care.
See ya.
Skaters.